and welcome to The Buzz, episode number 31. I'm your host, James Lepore, and we are proudly brought to you by our sponsors, Birch Propane, Island Inn and Suites, Island Bar and Crab House, and our new sponsor, Jackson Hewitt Tax Service in Lexington Park. Hi, Stephanie. Well, with me today, very special guest to kick off the new year. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Groovespan. I'm sure you'll recognize Jennifer Cooper from her many prior appearances on The Buzz, but let's meet the rest of Groovespan. On guitar, we have Carl Reichelt, who you also saw on the Buzz Christmas special, Sean Chesley on percussion, and James Witherite on keyboards, and of course vocals as well. Let's talk about prior music experience and then how it all gelled together. Carl, what did you do before Groovespan, musically?
I squandered in the dark. No. I played mostly with a band called Around Midnight for probably 15 or so years, but that was a rock and roll band, and had a few other side projects in the meantime. Did duos with the singer from that band, also played an instrumental jazz/bluegrass, believe it or not, band for a while. That was all instrumental and three people, and I played with Patty Dorsch with Upstroke for several years.
Oh, okay, that's it. Yeah, I've heard of them. Sean, what did you do before Groovespan?
I was mostly, if it wasn't big band jazz, it was the Latin jazz scene. If it wasn't drums, it was also percussion. I also played with a few contemporary Christian and gospel quartets, and that just kind of got me prepared for if I got into a versatile band where I had to play like a little bit of everything. So that was a really good experience. I kind of did that off and on as a freelancer.
And James, where did you come from?
Originally came from Pittsburgh, studied jazz composition at Duquesne University. Most of my playing, like Sean, was in the big band scene and in the small group jazz scene in Pittsburgh and in Philadelphia, where I call home now. But I'm down here a lot on the weekends doing this, but still writing and.
That's right, gigs every weekend. Not hard to find Groovespan.
No. We've become ubiquitous in Southern Maryland. It's really been a good run for this first year and a half.
Jen, how did all this come together? How did the band form?
Kind of, that old story of almost by chance. I was invited by a friend to go see Carl perform with Upstroke, actually, and liked his work. And we started doing a couple of very small gigs on the side. This was probably 2 years ago or so. I was invited by Bix Bullock to do some guest vocals on some concerts he was doing, and his drummer was Sean. So Sean and I met that way a few months after Carl. And then an acquaintance of ours connected me and James, believe it or not, through Facebook, and we realized we were both...
The power of
I
Facebook.
know, who knew? We realized we were both musicians who really wanted to get back into it more strongly than we were at the moment. And so he was invited down to sit in with the trio with Bix and Sean, and came all the way down from Delaware, amazingly, and decided he was okay with returning from Delaware more than once. So I thought, well, does everybody want to get together and try to make something happen? And everybody seemed to agree, and here we are.
Let's make a band.
Let's make a band.
The name. Where did the name come from? Who wants to claim credit for this?
I don't know. I was kind of, playing around with it most. I was trying to come up with something that was short and quick to say and read, but also that represented the fact that we do so much variety. And so I always think, well, we span the grooves of time, so we are a groove span. Does that work?
It actually makes sense.
Okay.
Gotcha. Now, overall, how would you describe the music that you typically play?
You guys want to say?
I think, like Jen said, we do a little bit of everything. We hit the vintage jazz, we hit the classic rock. There's simple music, there's complex music. It really is, we really do run the gamut.
Well, give me an example, like what kinds of bands, songs do you cover?
We cover everything from Chicago, Doobie Brothers, Elton John, and then we go back to Bill Withers and things covered by Ella Fitzgerald. Then we hit Nora Jones, and then we'll break out Journey and Chuck Berry.
Oh, is that all?
All over the place. We are all over the map, but
right.
Because these guys are so talented, it comes out really well.
Well, how often do you add new songs to the repertoire? I mean, typically when you guys get together on a weekly basis, does somebody come in and say, "Oh, I just thought we should do Renegade by Styx" or something like that?
I'd say we probably devote an afternoon once every 2 or 3 months to learning anywhere from 4 to 8 new tunes. So the book's up to over 100 by now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It keeps growing. There have been times where someone's requested a song 3 hours before a gig, and it's like, all right, pull up the song on YouTube, scribble down the chord charts,
That's right.
scribble down the lyrics, and then do it that night.
And we do have a
So-
wish list as well.
Right.
Like sometimes someone will throw out a song between gigs, and I'll say, let me put that on the wish list. And
Really?
I keep a list of that, and then when we know we can get everyone in the same room together.
James Laporte's birthday, March. Okay.
He's making a request on the
I'll
wish
give you at
list.
least 4 hours notice. How's that? So nice to actually have like a keyboard to lean on, but I'm afraid
Yeah, be careful.
Bad
It's an
host.
instrument.
You're okay.
Bad host. I didn't.
You're all right,
I didn't
James.
break Groovespan in any way.
No.
Okay.
It's still early.
Major influences. Carl, major influence in music.
Oh, like guitar-wise?
Yeah.
It's, well, my kind of deal is to take a little bit from everything I see. I have no like specific, like godlike artists I listen to, but all the people I've seen, I try to take a little bit from them. Whether it's Stanley Jordan, like at the Ram's Head, or seeing Jimmy Page a long time ago, or some 18-year-old kid in some bar in Manhattan who's absolutely amazing. You try to like pick up everything you can from them. So
Right. Sean?
I could easily point out a lot of talented African American R&B or jazz artists, but surprisingly, Phil Collins is like single-handedly my biggest influence because he sang, he played percussion, and he was a really good big band jazz drummer. So I got to give it to Phil.
Very cool. James, who influences you?
From a compositional standpoint, Bob Mintzer, who's the sax player with the Yellow Jackets, the late great Bob Brookmeyer, who died just a few weeks ago, pushing 90, really
Music keeps you young.
really revolutionized how the brass section in the big band was voiced. But from a piano vocal standpoint, one of your favorites as well as mine, Robert Lamb.
Absolutely. Jen?
As far as the jazz vintage stuff goes, I'd say the old school singers of Ella Fitzgerald and Polly Bergen and Dinah Washington and Billie Holiday, all of them. As far as the newer genres that I'm getting into now, I kind of like Carl. I kind of pick a little bit from everything. I'm still discovering my influences, believe it or not. Some I recall from my past and listening to them as a child and loving them and now recreating them, and some I'm discovering as people suggest things, so it's kind of fun.
Now, you're not doing this full-time yet, right? I mean, you all maintain day jobs, true?
That's correct.
Right. So how do you balance, playing as many gigs as you do, sometimes 2, 3, 4 in a week, right? With, jobs, family, and is that a struggle, or?
Well, in my case, the other jobs that I have, teaching voice lessons and things, they are very flexible jobs that I generate the schedule for which I generate the schedule, and so I work those jobs actually around the gigging, because
okay.
the gigging is the most important thing to me. You guys?
If I could say so, I work for Empire Today, which is the best carpet and flooring company in the nation, and they're very flexible in my music career, so I just want to say thanks, Colleen. Thanks, Lee. You'll probably see this on Facebook, so yeah, thank you for allowing me to go out and play with these guys.
James, you work at a racetrack in Delaware?
Actually in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, okay.
I'm a horse racing broadcaster by day, 4 or 5 days a week, but I'm also gigging up in Philadelphia. The jazz, the straight ahead jazz gigging is really picking up for me up there. So as far as how do I balance, I actually find time to relax while I'm on the road from point A to point B. Crazy as it sounds, the 2.5 hours from there to here, or vice versa, is really the time where I can decompress and enjoy my coffee.
And Carl, you work locally on bass, yes?
yeah, well, sort of. I'm a software geek who does programming for people on bass.
Oh, okay.
But my technique was to just reduce my work week from 40 to 32 hours, and the 2 companies I've worked with have been very good about letting me do that.
Oh, fantastic.
Don't get paid 80%.
Because they're probably fans of Groovespan too, right?
Will be now.
So how often, again, now we've talked about all the day stuff and the families and as many gigs as you have in a week. How do you find time to practice, add new songs? I mean, that's got to be a struggle.
That's really happenstance. Getting us all in the same room at the same time is difficult because of all of our schedules. But and that's why we kind of have that wish list, so that when we realize we can get everybody together, I'll send out an email. When can we all get together? I'll throw out like 6 or 8 songs and say, let's try all of these, at that time. And these guys are so good that that's not an issue. Like, we'll go through those 8 songs because they'll all do their own work before
So
we
when you
show
come
up.
together, you're pretty much like everybody's already independently
Done their own
prepared.
homework, right, exactly. And we've put it together, and for the most part, 1 or 2 run-throughs, and we've got it. That's what's
is
so fun about
very,
working with
very
these
cool.
guys.
Hey,
It's
can
great.
people buy Groovespan music?
That's a good question. We have a couple of archival samples, particularly of the jazz work that involves Groovespan members and some other wonderful musicians, which are available for suggested donation at any of the gigs that we do. However, James has his own original works on CD, which you can buy, and I'm going to let him talk about that.
Oh, cool. Tell me.
Okay, in 2006, when I was still in Pittsburgh, I recorded a disc with my sextet there called West by Northwest, all original compositions of mine. The trombone player on the record actually did one as well. So that's available on cdbaby.com, actually. And then not too long ago, middle of 2011, I released a concert that I gave in Pittsburgh back in 2007 with my quintet at the time and the Duquesne University Jazz Ensemble called Live in Pittsburgh. That's available not through CD Baby just yet, but through my website, www.jameswitherite.net.
Very cool. Thanks. All right, I'm sure everybody out in TV land, everybody's hoping I'm going to ask one question. Will you give us a sample of what Groovespan plays?
No.
Well, will you reconsider, Jen, please?
Okay, yes,
Okay.
we would love to give you a sample.
Thank you so much. I'm going to step out of here and let you people do what you do best. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Groovespan.
All right, we're going to kick it off with a little soul. It's a little Adele cover of a Sam Cooke tune called That's It, I Quit, I'm Moving On. Give me that again. 2, 3, 4. You made me need you. You made me tumble and fall. If I can't have you the way I want you, I don't want you at all. Baby, I can take a lot 'cause I love everything you got. Though your kisses thrill me so, if you've got someone else, I've gotta go. And that you know. Oh, that's it. Baby, I quit. I'm moving on. Oh, that's it. Baby, I quit. Oh, I'm moving on. All right, the next one, hey, I lost my list. The next one is a Chicago cover. Thank you, Carl. And we leave all the grooving and the singing with this to Mr. James Witherite. Take it.
Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care? If so, I can't imagine why. I've all got time enough to cry.
Little snippet of it. Thank you, James. What's next on our... okay. Now we're going to switch it over to a little bit of jazz. I'm going to give you a little taste of Fly Me to the Moon. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. You guys are so fun. What you say? You'd like more?
Off camera.
All right, now for something completely different. And we often will do things like this in our shows. We'll finish up with a tune like that and then switch right over to, I don't know, say Styx. Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law. Lawman is putting an end to my running, and I'm so far from my home. Oh, mama, I can hear you a-crying, you're so scared and all alone. Hangman is coming down from the gallows, and I don't have very long. Can Can't you just hear the audience screaming back at us at that point? You can't help that response, right? All right, we got one more for you. We're going to give you a little bit of Bill Withers to close out our musical sample moment here. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. It's not warm when he's away. No, there ain't no sunshine when he's gone, and he's always gone too long. Anytime it goes away, anytime it goes away, anytime it goes away. Thank you.
Fantastic. Can you do like 10? Can you do like 10 more?
If you have time now.
I guess we have to wrap this up. Thank you so much. If that doesn't make you go down and run to the next Groovespan gig, I don't know what will. Speaking of gigs, upcoming gigs, what do you have that people can go to, like, right this coming weekend?
Right this coming weekend. That'll be Friday night at 8:30. Get yourself down to the Blue Dog Saloon. It's right on the edge of Welcome and Port Tobacco, just outside of La Plata. We will be playing there from 8:30 to 11:30.
Okay.
We also have a couple more coming up this month. Sunday, January 15th, we'll be at the Running Hair Vineyard. That'll be Carl, myself, and Alex on violin. Wonderful guest instrumentalist, fantastic. And toward later in the month, January 21st, Saturday, we will be back at the Ruddy Duck, where we just spent New Year's Eve, which was a blast.
Yes,
so we hope to see you there.
I heard great things about it. That is absolutely incredible. Okay, wrapping up the first half, we talked about the power of Facebook. Facebook pages for Groovespan?
We have a brand new Facebook page, totally inspired by this show.
Really?
I kid you not. So, you can now actually search for Groovespan on Facebook.
One word, no space, right?
One word.
Because you got a little space there in the logo.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a space, but it is all one word, and it's very rudimentary right now. There's some photos and some info about us, but we're going to, kick it up a little bit more, because we all have individual Facebook pages, but I thought, kicking off the new year and this episode, why not put it all together and get it out there, right?
That's right, kicking off the new year, right. Very cool. We got a lot of other stuff happening this coming weekend to talk about. We're going to take a break for our sponsors, come back with the other events for the weekend, plus a little surprise from Groovespan for the viewers, too. This is episode 31 of The Buzz. I want to thank our sponsors, Birch Propane, Island Inn and Suites, Island Bar and Crab House, and Jackson Hewitt Tax Service in Lexington Park. We will be right back on The Buzz. Propane heat is efficient, versatile, and environmentally friendly. Call Birch Propane today to learn more about this economical heating solution. Our certified service technicians can answer any questions you may have and show you the most efficient and effective way to heat your home. Propane also fuels many home appliances, such as stoves, ovens, dryers, even hot water heaters. See our website and learn more or call us today, 301-373-2131. Birch Propane, building a greener future. Ready for an evening of good food, good friends, and good fun? Head to the Island Inn Bar and Crab House on St. George Island, where you'll find awesome cold drinks, hot crabs, and plenty of room to shake off the dust from a busy week. Island Inn Bar and Crab House, featuring live music on Fridays. Kick back and enjoy the amazing view of the Potomac River while our staff tends to your every need. Good food, good fun, and good friends are all found at the Island Inn Bar and Crab House at the landmark Evans Seafood Restaurant on St. George Island in Piney Point. Hi, and welcome back to The Buzz, episode 31. I'm your host, James Lepore, proudly having Groovespan as my special guest today to kick off the new year. So much stuff going on, gonna run through it really fast. Sam, always a million gigs, Sam Grow Band at the Ruddy Duck, Thursday, January 5th, starts at 7 p.m. He's gonna be live with the Piranhas Friday, January 6th at the Whiskey in Annapolis, worth the drive. Saturday, January 7th at 9 p.m. at Denny's Place in Brandywine. Okay. Now, speaking of the Piranhas are like tearing up the circuit. Like they're everywhere. On the 5th, Old Leonardtown Pub, 7 to 11. 6th, the Whiskey, Annapolis, with Sam Grow, obviously. 7th, the Ruddy Duck Brewery, 8 to 11. Island Inn and Suites, one of our proud sponsors. They're moving their band night from Friday to Saturday, and this Saturday kicks it off with Billy Breslin. Hydro Effects, who was guests 2 weeks ago, playing Blue Dog Saloon, place you just mentioned, January 5th, that's in Port Tobacco. And surprise from Groovespan. You see Jennifer wearing this very cool Groovespan t-shirt. They brought an extra. I got every member of the band to sign it. You have an autographed t-shirt. One person can win that t-shirt. Just send an email to thebuzz@metrocast.com. At the end of the week, I will select one lucky winner. Make sure you give me your phone number so I can call and say, hey, you won. Then you come down to Metrocast and pick it up. I think that's it. I can't thank Groovespan enough for the music and just entertaining us on a weekly basis.
Thank you for kicking off the new year with us. We appreciate it.
That's been episode 31. Thanks to Birch Propane, Island Inn and Suites, Island Bar and Crab House, Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, Lexington Park. I'll be back next week with an all-new episode. I'm James, and you have been watching The Buzz.